Wow. Not Dobby.
Luna. Is she gonna explain why she went back to the school?
The sky has lost its star. My father used to say that when a child died. Funny how Mr. Dobby knew exactly where to find us.
Mister.
That's funny.
If you click cinema mode on the top right, it will full screen for you. Every time I click cinema mode, it just keeps doing this.
It's not the place you left, you know. It's not the same.
Also, they addressed this.
Neither am I.
Always good value. I'll miss her. What do you think?
I wouldn't know you if I didn't know you.
Did you say I wouldn't know you if I didn't know you?
You're gonna think I'm mental, but more than once when I've looked into it, I think I've seen Dumbledore.
Oh my god.
Bloody hell, that's a sight.
Well, how do I look?
Hideous.
This was a decent deletion. The Luna part actually was nice to keep, maybe.
Do you hear from the others much?
Finished. You know who has won. Whoever says otherwise is fooling themselves.
Uh-oh.
Oh, duh.
We need to get into Hogwarts tonight. Your brother gave me a job to do.
Did he now? Nice job. Easy? No, I reckon not. Piece of advice. My brother's dead.
Good advice.
So unless you fancy joining him, I would forget about any job he gave you.
Professor Dumbledore cared about Harry very much.
Oh, funny then. Because it was the people my brother cared about that tended to get hurt.
Finally a bit of order in this fucking school.
The Hitler Youth.
Was this in the books? I can't remember if he, like, joined them and jumped out. It's a bit silly, I think. Like, there was no real point to that more than dramatic effect. No? Oh, yes, no?
Seamus! Seamus! You do know what you're doing, don't you?
Shameless. That green screen is cooked. What the fuck? Oh my god, it would have been better without it. Oh, those poor effects artists. But these are simple things to rotoscope anyway. It's supposed to be as smooth and evenly lit as possible. That's why they deleted the scene, it was too hard to do.
It's Teddy who needs you.
He'll sleep till dawn and snore like his father. It's you that needs me tonight.
Did J.K. Rowling kill off a few too many characters? Like, she made her point, anyone dies. Why'd you have to kill so many of them? She's just fucking having fun in the end.
Nighty night.
Let us out here, you filthy squid!
Wait, that's a guy. Wait, what do I watch all the time where I see him? What am I thinking of him in? Oh, Walder Frey. Oh, no. Oh, God, you're right.
Wait, what was that even? What caused that? The attackers?
Did Tom just host us? I saw his name flash up. Thanks if you did.
Oh shit, the snake is unfinished here.
Come on in. Yes? There's something I need to tell you.
I don't want you to say anything that you wouldn't say if we weren't about to be killed by a giant snake. It'll just ruin it.
Okay, that was a good cut. What a ridiculous scene that was.
Hater.
Or shots. Alright, those were the deleted scenes. Now we've truly seen it all. Wow. What is this? Voldemort laughs in different... Voldemort attacks, but it's the House Cup ceremony. Yeah, we can maybe watch that tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow. Odd names here. Now you guys... No. So yeah, the game's crazy. It's 6-3 to Liverpool, yo. In...
Sports don't care. Have you watched any good movies lately? Smile 2 is good, I thought. I feel like I've seen a couple movies lately.
They say what they're saying out of 22,000. They say what they're saying out of 22,000 people, there was one COVID death among the vaccinated, and there was 2 COVID deaths on the unvaccinated.
Double.
22,000 people. So, and that allowed them to claim it's 100% effective.
Effective for what? You can't use the word effective.
No, but you remember they kept saying it's 100% effective.
No, they just said it'll negate this.
I'm so glad. Who brought this up? Was it Hutch or did I bring it up to Hutch after somebody else told me? There's this weird rewriting of history where conservatives try to say like, oh yeah, you guys said the vaccine would be 100% effective and you all lied. And then somebody brought up no, because there was that whole meme of like, did you get the Pfizer or did you have to get the Moderna or did you get the J&J? Like which one? Like and people would like rank them or whatever for the meme or whatever. Yeah, I think it was Hutch. Yeah, that whole meme was like a thing for like a month. And then, and then now these guys like go back and like, oh no, they said that all the vaccine was 100% effective and blah, blah. It's like, okay.
Severity.
If you go on the internet, you can see Tony Fauci.
But the word effective didn't say you won't get, I never heard you won't get COVID.
Oh yeah, well, this is a different subject. But yeah, in fact, I saw a tape yesterday of them all, of Biden, Fauci, Gates, Burla, all of them saying, if you take the vaccine, Rachel Maddow, if you take the vaccine, you can't get COVID.
We looked up, some guy made like this big thread of like 10 of these examples. And I feel like I looked all of them up. And it was always like the quote was like Bill Gates, and it would say, if people get vaccinated, we won't spread the disease or something like that. Like that would be the quote. And then when I would read, I was like, okay, well, Bill Gates is like a pretty knowledgeable guy on vaccine health and shit. It'd be weird that we say something that's stupid, but I don't know, maybe we did. And then we would go back and look it up. And then the paragraphs before would be like, the vaccines are incredibly effective. It's hard to get infected. If you won't be likely to have disease. If we get herd immunity, then it won't be likely that, we'll continue to pass disease. If we get vaccinated, we won't spread the disease. It'll be like that. Yeah, it was always it was never this statement of like, if you get vaccinated, you will never get sick ever. I don't even think Biden gaffed that. I think there was one person, I think it was one spokesperson that went on to MSNBC once, I think said something, the strongest form of that statement. And I think the CDC corrected her like either that day or the next day. But every single other quote was just not that.
You can't pass COVID.
I didn't see that.
Okay, well, you know what? Can I play it for you?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait. Here, it doesn't matter what Rachel Maddow says.
No, they should have ran down the... Was that Rachel Maddow who made the strong claim? I don't think it was Maddow. I think it was a person that went on like her show or something.
Can't get COVID. You can't pass COVID.
I didn't see that.
Okay, well, you know what? Can I play it for you?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait. Here, it doesn't matter what Rachel Maddow says.
They say...
Why don't you save stuff like that for moments like that? Save what? The thread? Oh, I don't know. How can I save every single retarded fucking claim? I mean, we looked them all up on stream. It was just, yeah. Literally, the head of the CDC at the time, Rochelle Walensky, that's who said it. Yeah, but they retracted the strong form of that claim either the same day or the day after. Like, I think that the easy way to tell that conservatives are like mind fucked on this is it's so funny because conservatives didn't trust the vaccines and liberals were the ones who generally did trust them more. The only people who thought that the vaccine was 100% effective, they said, are conservatives who didn't trust it anyway. Like, it's like the most bad faith, like, critique that is so stupid. I don't understand how. No, I do understand. It's like if somebody says one thing incorrectly on the liberal side, that's enough to not trust the whole fucking thing. Meanwhile, these other guys are shooting hot loads of lies up your ass 24/7, and it's like, okay, well, you know, he meant that. Oh, we don't take him seriously. We take him like, oh, we don't. Well, you know, he didn't actually mean. Oh, yeah. It's like, it's insane to me. Like, Jesus. Found your thread. Oh, I made a thread on this. Oh, this fake PhD guy who got kicked out of his fucking program. I don't think he finished it. In an interview with Piers Morgan, Destiny claimed the government never said COVID vaccines stop transmission. This is a lie. Below, I've compiled statements from officials who declared exactly that. Below these statements, I've compiled additional statements showing the impact of these lies. These lies led to a mass campaign of active discrimination against unvaccinated people. Destiny's completely misinformed. He had to spend some time learning about what actually happened during the pandemic. The truth, the COVID vaccine had a minimal impact on transmission of the virus, yet officials claimed that it completely blocked transmission, leading to a witch hunt completely unjustified by any science whatsoever. Now, the statements. Bill Gates, July 30th, 2020. During 2021, we should be able to manufacture a lot of vaccines, and that vaccine's key goal is to stop transmission. The source. Billionaire philanthropist Bill Gates told Yahoo Finance in a recent interview that they developed the development of medicine for the coronavirus is moving at record speeds and predicted that better treatments will be available this year and a lot of vaccines will be made next year. During 2021, we should be able to manufacture a lot of vaccines, says Gates, who along with his wife, Melinda, had donated more than $350 million to fight blah, blah, blah. Some of who supported research for therapeutics and vaccines. That vaccine, a key goal is to stop the transmission, to get the immunity levels up so that you get almost no infection going on whatsoever. Almost no infection. So the very first quote is just, that doesn't sound like 100% to me. Also, wait, I don't even think I criticized. Wait, hold on. I just realized. This was before any vaccine was even out. There wasn't even a vaccine out yet when he made this. Oh, and I explained the... CDC Director Rochelle Walensky, which is what Puggy is spamming in Kick Chat. She said, we can kind of almost see the end where we're vaccinating so fast. Our data from the CDC today suggests that, that vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick. And it's not just in the clinical trials, but also real world data. She said this on, I don't remember whose show she was on when she said this. Some CNN show, I don't fucking know. But the CDC's own guidelines literally did not say this. The CDC website, however, continues to say that vaccines only reduce the risk of people spreading COVID-19, not that people can't spread it post-vaccination. What is the propaganda plan here? We're going to send our spokesperson out to a news media show while we contradict what she says on the website. And then 3 days later, on April 1st, the CDC spokesperson seemingly walked back the director's comments, telling the New York Times that Dr. Walensky spoke broadly during this interview, adding that it's possible that some people who are fully vaccinated could get COVID-19. The evidence isn't clear whether they can spread the virus to others. We continue to evaluate the evidence. But this statement is ignored. Instead, you just want the one-liner, because you live in slogans anyway, I guess, right? Because if Donald Trump says more than one sentence, you're already lost regardless. MSNBC host Rachel Maddow said, now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person. A vaccinated person gets exposed to the virus does not infect them. The virus cannot use that person to go anywhere else. I cannot use a vaccinated person as a host to get more people. A few statements earlier, or above this, I guess. Well, today, the CDC reported new data that shows that under real-world conditions, not just in a lab, not just extrapolating from tiny numbers of test subjects, but looking at thousands of frontline health workers and essential workers who have gotten vaccinated and who have since been doing their jobs and living in a real world. Not only are there vaccines for those folks, thousands of them, keeping them from getting sick from COVID themselves, those vaccines are also highly effective, not 100% effective, highly effective, at preventing those people from getting infected, even with non-symptomatic infections, asymptomatic is what she meant. And if you're not infected, then you can't give it to anybody else. And I know this sounds like an incremental piece of news, but sit on this for a second, enough to absorb what that means, right? What this means is that we can get there with vaccines, we can end this thing. It means that instead of a vaccine being able, it means instead of the virus being able to hop from person to person to person to person, spreading, sickening some of them, but not all of them. And the ones it doesn't sicken don't know they have it and give it to mere poem, because they didn't recognize, right? I think this is a transcription error. So the vaccine will hop from person to person, mutating, blah, blah, blah. Now we know the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person. They're talking about herd immunity. None of this is, I don't think anybody was making claims of 100% every single person. Like if you get vaccinated, you're never getting the virus. It doesn't make any sense. Or this is not, nobody had this understanding of any of this except for conservatives post hoc. Like nobody at the time thought this. UCSF infectious disease expert Dr. Monica Gandhi, March 30th, 2021. Essentially, vaccines block you from getting and giving the virus. The quote is always like one line. It's always one line. The director is referring to a new study of nearly 4,000 frontline workers, some vaccinated, some not. They tested themselves weekly for COVID-19 infections between December and March. Among fully vaccinated people in the study, there were only 3 infections detected. That's not 100%. Essentially. It didn't stop with every person as in if you have 1,000 people vaccinated, for every new person vaccinated, theoretically you're stopping the transmission of the virus. With every new person vaccinated, you're stopping it more and more. Not every person vaccinated is 100% guaranteed not to get sick or infected. Again, like nobody thought this at the time. Nobody thought this, except for 1 year later, conservatives went back and said it. Nobody thought this. There was otherwise there wouldn't be, none of the memes or the jokes about if Pfizer or Moderna was better would even make sense. Why would people even joke about that if everybody thought it was 100%? Nobody thought this, except for conservatives thought that people were spreading propaganda about this, but for some reason, none of the liberals took to it. I don't get why we're still talking about COVID vaccines in 2024. Because I said 3 years ago, and this is true, you might even go find a fucking, you can find a tweet where I even fucking said this. The conservatives will never, ever trust the COVID vaccine, ever. And I said that. It doesn't matter if 5 years of data come out, 10 years of data comes out, it doesn't matter. They will never, ever trust it. They will never trust it. I think we've diverged realities, and I don't know, I think it's important to call out and course correct. Java Bolt in chat said, Destiny, I want your take on this post. I think OP still has feelings for her ex, but maybe I'm crazy. I know exactly what you're linking. I haven't clicked it yet. And I read it, and I 100 trillion% agree with you. And I don't think anybody else in that Reddit thread saw it. Just kidding. Never mind. This is not what I thought it was. Oh, no, wait. This is the same one. Are there any bulletproof vaccines anyway? No, I don't think any vaccine is 100% effective. There might be like 1 or 2. But for the most part, I think that generally it's just a very, very, very low risk. It still shouldn't have been mandated. Even if it is dumb not to trust vaccines, American citizens have the right to refuse medical service without punishment. The government crossed the line, no way around it. Sure, I agree with you. If you want to make that the rule, that's fine, but I should be able to sue people if they make me sick. And I should be able to sue for damages and lost time from work. So if your retarded fucking ass doesn't want to get vaccinated, that's fine. But if you show up to work and you get me fucking sick, I should be able to demand a test from both of us, and I should be able to take you to court, and I should be able to sue you for lost hours if your retarded fucking ass is coughing and sneezing and smearing fucking virus everywhere, and I end up getting sick for it. So if we have that agreement, then I think it's fucking A-okay. One sec. Okay. Am I overreacting to my boyfriend's feelings? Both of them are 28 years old. Jesus, good one. So my boyfriend and I started dating in June. It's mostly been amazing. Okay, first red flag, 6 months, but okay. But once he saw photos of my ex and I together, and I gave him more background of my ex and I, he started asking lots of questions about that relationship and breakup. Wow, Michael, welcome to thank you for gifting 10 tier 1 subs, buddy. He then began to act extremely paranoid if he thought my ex was ever going to be around me or my friends. We used to work together. I play the cello for a professional symphony, and he plays the violin. It's how we met. Oof. One warning I will say, I don't even know how you would warn against this, but it's like a thing to keep in mind, is that if there's like a special hobby or talent or activity that you do, and your current partner doesn't, you'd be really careful about that particular thing with other people of the opposite sex, because that's going to be like a super competitive, that puts a lot of bad thoughts in a person's head. But then he moved to another state and changed the symphony he was playing for about 6 months. He moved back, but has not auditioned for our symphony again. We no longer speak, so I'm not sure what he's doing now, but a mutual friend mentioned a while ago that he probably isn't going to be back. I told my current boyfriend this and thought he'd get relief from the news, but it turned into a fight because he was curious why I even asked about the information. I told him I didn't, but I can't ever win. If my friends were to say anything, that's me allowing my friends to talk about him, and then he's mad. It's been a consistently uncomfortable topic, and he's picked maybe a handful of fights over this. I understand that he's upset we were engaged. We were engaged and together for about 4.5 years and lived together for most of those years. He can't seem to handle my history with this guy. Even though I continue to make it clear I'm happy with our relationship and in love, I'm over my ex. I have been over him for a while. Our relationship honestly is so great, and our communication, this right here notwithstanding, it's usually pretty awesome and mostly mature, but he has these freak out moments, and the worst was recently. My ex was at a wedding of a work friend of mine. I was polite and vice versa, but I mostly stayed away and gave my current BF all the attention and love in the world. I made it clear that we were serious and I was respectful. We were supposed to stay an extra day and go sightseeing, but he left early and went back to his place and basically was ignoring me. Then he answered the phone and I thought we were fine. Then he kind of reverted back to an attitude, so I told him I'd give him a little more space, and we had this conversation after that. Okay. He's honestly now making me paranoid about us and second-guess things I would never second-guess, or am I being too hard on him? When we first started dating, I hadn't deleted a lot of my photos with my ex on social media, but literally nothing sinister was meant by that. I keep all my old photos up. I have photos from very distant parts of my life up there. In my personal opinion, there's like a very fine line to walk here or whatever. But in my personal opinion, I don't think you should ever have to like delete pictures of exes on social media. I think it's a huge red flag if you go to date somebody and they're so insecure about your previous partner that they like demand that you take down like every pic. Like, you know, I dated this person or whatever. Like, that's not going to disappear just because you want me to delete all the shit. With maybe some exceptions, like if you literally are doing like fucking not safe for work porn shoots, or if you're doing like crazy shit, maybe. But for the most part, I mean, like if there can be pictures of exes, they were in your life, like that's a thing. Like nobody's going to delete that from the brain. That's stupid, I think. He also found old scrapbooks. Now it's both weird to still have them on and to demand somebody to delete them. Nah, I don't think so. Unless you're literally like fucking motorboating some girl in a fucking video. I think I don't know. Just don't put them in important places like your profile picture. That's true. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you wouldn't want them in your profile pic. Yeah, of course. Sure. Okay. He also found old scrapbooks. I guess if anything, I'm sentimental. What does that mean? He found old scrapbooks? He's like digging through your shit? Or I just don't throw things away or delete things. He deleted all of his photos with his ex and got rid of all their things, so he holds it over my head. Then I never had to stumble upon them looking so happy and stuff together or wonder why he kept it around. But one could argue that if I'm okay with having that stuff, it means I'm okay with it being, with it all being over. And one could argue that having to erase someone entirely means that they actually harbor feelings or negative feelings anyway. Not sure how to proceed. I can't even believe I'm here asking this. I love him very much, but I don't know how to help him get over this, and I don't know the best way to handle it. Okay, just doing like a vibes analysis. I'm like, I think I'm slightly on the side of the girlfriend here. I kind of like need more information, but I feel like the girlfriend is generally in the right here. Boyfriend seems like he's acting cringe. Seems like he's got insecurity issues around the guy. Yeah, okay, you know. Then the text messages. Hi, you. How are you? Are you feeling any better? I guess just not really sure why you didn't think to tell me he'd be there. I had absolutely no idea that he would be there. I told you that. I wish you'd hear it / believe it. I don't see how there was any way actually for you to not know, because I barely talk to that crowd anymore. I also don't talk to them about specifics and certainly not about him. I didn't ask and they are used to not bringing him up to me at this point, and I feel like I can't win with you. Okay, so I would say, making a lot of assumptions here, okay? If these guys were really together for 4.5 years and she was like in this crowd, it seems a little unlikely that nobody would have mentioned that, hey, your ex that you were engaged to for 4.5 years is going to be at this wedding party. I feel like that would have come through the grapevine, but maybe not. I don't know, maybe these communication networks are different, but who knows? We'll see. And I feel like I can't win with you. How so? Because just say, if I did ask if he was going to be there and told him, oh my God, I can't, the way that she writes drives me crazy. Because just say if I did ask if he was going to be there and told you yes or no, you'd be mad I asked about him. Not true. Be real. I would say that is a different situation. I don't understand why. You made it very clear time and time again that you just want him erased. I don't totally know the best way to go about it anymore. I'm sorry he was there, but you know that isn't why I wanted to be there. And short of ignoring him completely in front of everyone, I thought I did a pretty good job of keeping enough distance. I feel like you just need to trust in us and in what we have and trust in me, or moving forward, it doesn't seem possible. We won't be happy having these same arguments. Now you're threatening to end things, ... I don't think there's anything too bad about her. Sentences here. Put yourself in my shoes, put yourself in mine. I have many times I've been over backwards trying to get you to understand that blank isn't a threat to you. I'm also not threatening anything. I'm just being realistic and honest. How many times can we have the same fight? Like, do you trust me? Are you happy? Yes, yes. It doesn't feel that way when we get in a stupid fight after a wedding and you then ignore me and say that you want to stay at your place instead of finishing the rest of the trip with me, and then ignore me for hours when I say I'm home. This is why I'm saying put yourself in my shoes. You kept your distance to a degree, but like you were also extremely personable and talkative with him. When I walked up to you guys, it legitimately felt like I was interrupting some great convo or catch up This isn't, that isn't keeping things distant. You both acted weird. Now imagine if this was all reversed, not just the situation this weekend. And then on top of that, we go to like say blank and blank's wedding and blank is there. She's single. She's giving me fuck me eyes, giving you dirty looks. You go talk to a few people you know, turn around and lo and behold, blank has found me at the bar and we are laughing, smiling, chatting. You finally walk up and we both get quiet and I act weird for 10 minutes after that. So in my mind, if you're ever going to run into like a catch up with an ex thing or whatever, I feel like you should just bring your partner with you. That would like short circuit so much potential drama. Like if that's going to happen, just bring your ESSA with you so that it doesn't seem like anything like weird is happening. But see, this is where we will keep disagreeing. I wasn't acting weird for 10 minutes after that. And I'm sorry if it felt that way to you, but I really don't think that we were acting like you got, that you somehow interrupted anything. If we got quiet, it was probably just because on one hand, I know how you were feeling and I already admitted if there was any weirdness, it was because of that, because I know how you feel about him. Okay, so of all the messages that she sends, I feel like this is like an accidental, like gives the game away red flag. I don't understand this. Because it sounds like she is saying, okay, yeah, maybe it was weird after you showed up, but it's because I know how uncomfortable he makes you. But if that's the case, then wait, then why have the situation set up like this? Because it feels like you're, like, I don't know, it just seems. How old are these people? 28. On the other, he also probably felt a little weird because I'm sure he has heard that we are serious. Like, this is also a huge red flag. So you're talking to a guy that feels weird about us being together, and you know that I feel weird about you chatting with him, but then you're going and having like a full-on sidebar conversation. Like, that seems kind of weird, but okay. And I still do not agree that he was giving me any looks. I feel like a lot of it is you projecting your own fears and insecurities. Like, no, I would not be stoked to see blank and you chatting at a wedding, but I trust you and I would trust what we have. I would assume if anything, she was flirting with you, but not the other way around. I wouldn't ruin the night or weekend over it. So he was flirting? No, I'm saying if I saw you two laughing, smiling, ooh, that insecurity. No, I'm saying if I saw you two laughing, smiling, chatting, whatever, I might assume she's being flirty because she was in the past and that's just how she always is, but I'd leave it alone. Our exes have nothing to do with us, except that he wants you back. Okay, I'm not even sure if that is true. That is more assuming on your end. Ooh, that makes it sound like he absolutely does. I don't even know how he knows that or how they know that, but even if it was true, who cares? I can't control that, and I don't do anything to make you not trust that I'm over him and all about you/us. No, like I am telling you, I found out that night that he does want you back. His annoying and very drunk buddy told me. Maybe he was fucking with me, I don't know. Seemed pretty legit and checked out with the way he was acting around you. Can you please just call me? I'm over texting about this. Not in the mood. Something. I think that's their names. Dude, even if that is true, again, who fucking cares? Do I not love you? You almost married the guy. If you were the one who ended things, that might make me feel a touch better, but he ended it. This is the one where it's like, oh. You described it as being the most heartbreaking breakup of your life. It was only 2.5 years ago, and he isn't actually out of your life completely. Sorry if I have some paranoia regarding him that won't fuck off. Okay. Sometimes I feel like people have this, they'll do this stupid thing where they'll go, hey, I have an issue. And I'm like, oh, what's up? I feel like my current partner is jealous of my ex. And it's like, oh, well, why do you say that? And like, I don't know. It feels like just because I've mentioned him or like just because, I've said anything about him, like my current partner is just super jealous of my ex. And I don't know why. I feel like it's not fair. And then there are two realities behind two separate doors. And you open one door and it's the girl saying like, the guy's like, oh, hey, have you been in a relationship? She's like, yeah, I dated this one guy for like 6 years. And the guy's like, 6 years? We've only been together for 1 year. Now I'm super jealous. And it's like, okay, well, the guy's being insecure. But then there's this other door where a guy's like, oh, so have you been in any relationships before? And the girl's like, or the guy could be like, right, it could be anyone. The person's like, yeah, I dated this one guy for 6 years, and he's definitely the one that got away. He was the love of my life. When we broke up, it crushed me. I didn't think I would ever recover. All the marks on my arms and legs are from the cutting from the depression that I had afterwards, but I think I'm mostly better now. And it's like, why would you even say this? Why would you, you're either the most secure person in the universe in your relationship, or you're just like trying to fuck shit out. Why would you say this, right? Why would you say this? And it was, okay, yes, you love me. Sometimes I do continue to worry deep down that I'm a rebound to him, and you will either get back together with him or end things due to not being over it. That isn't fair, though. It feels like you keep projecting how you dealt with your breakup. Today, if anything like maybe I should be freaking out that this is all because you're actually not over some other girl, his ex. Please don't turn this around. I'm not just saying. I don't care about exes. Why do you? We would be nearly perfect if you would stop letting your insecurities win. Please call. I'm just going to head to blanks. What? Seriously? You're going to go drink with friends instead of working this out with me? You won't even call me. This is exhausting and deeply upsetting. You're pushing me away. Please don't sabotage this. Hello? I'm not in the mood to keep talking to you. I'm exhausted too. Whatever, Kay. I don't have anything to say about this topic. You owe me an apology. Several, actually. I've apologized over and over for nothing, really. And you keep avoiding me. Now you're going to drink at blank, who is a horrible influence, by the way. And what is so incredibly astonishingly hypocritical about this, too, is that your ex goes to blanks pretty often. So it's really amazing you choose to hang with that crowd during this particular argument. She won't be there. Literally just going to be blank, blank, and possibly blank. I can show you the text where he's the one inviting me. I don't care. So now you're pissed at me. I feel like that's what you want. I'm not playing these games. That isn't what I want. I'm not playing any goddamn games. I'm not in the mood to keep talking. Can we get together tomorrow night? Since you ditched me, then you finally answered, but you pick another fight. And now, when I thought we could move past it, you're still harping, why should we be on your timeline? I have rehearsal tomorrow night. I thought it was moved to Tuesday. Nope. We have an extra rehearsal, and the holiday party is what was moved. Maybe figure out if you're mature enough to continue this relationship. Until then, I don't think I want to talk. I can bring Claire as my date to the holiday party, and now you call. And you accuse me of playing games. Not a game. I'm just losing my patience. Answer, please. Why can't you judge my feelings past week? Hello, cool, thank you. Ooh, now he's trying to call? Dumbass. Literally, all I've done is try to understand and honor your feelings. You've done everything in your power to push me away. Have fun with blank and good friend blank. They are totally who you should be investing your time in right now. It's so immature. It's obvious and immature. I'll let you know when I feel like talking blank. All right, I won't go, okay. I know it isn't even about that. Blank, please answer. I'm trying to apologize, okay? So when he says, I don't want to talk, and then when she's pulling away, now he wants to talk, that starts to feel like a game, right? And then when he says he's not in the mood to hang out, he's just gonna go hang out with other people. And she's like, okay, fine, fucking do it. And he's like, okay, wait, hold on. I don't want to, now that feels like a game, right? Like, what do you mean? I think some people get addicted to the, there's a name for this dynamic where you're like pushing away and pushing away and pushing away with the hope that they continue chasing. And then when they stop chasing, you like desperately go back. Because you're like, wait a second, why'd you stop chasing me? I love you. I've handled this shit well. I've never loved someone this much. And yeah, my record with blank sucked ass. Perhaps I project that onto you at times. But there's more to it. And you know that, but you refuse to acknowledge it. I really wasn't ignoring you. My phone was dead, but you are actually ignoring me. So that is it. You end this over messaging. I'm coming over. Okay, holy shit. Please don't. My roommate is not in the mood for drama tonight. Then come to mine. Not tonight. I'm exhausted. I'll call you tomorrow after rehearsal. Before he was like, please respect my time. Let's call tomorrow. And now he's like, I need to call and talk right now. Please call before. I have Christmas shopping plans. Fine. Okay. Okay. I love you. Really. I'm sorry. I love you too. Fuck. We're seriously not going to breathe until you set it back. I'm an idiot. The funny thing is too, these guys are like 6 months in. I feel like they're both manipulative losers. I mean, I don't know. I'd say they're both manipulative losers. It just feels like they're both like a little toxic. But, damn. But 6 months and they're like this? Not good. Not good. Are the comments with the girl? Every comment is defending the girl, yeah, of course.
Partisan deals negotiated and led by the Speaker of the House. What role exactly is he playing here?
It's kind of interesting. We have a president, we have a vice president, we have a speaker. It feels like as if Elon Musk is our prime minister. And I spoke with Elon a couple of times this week. I think many of us...
Unelected.
Well, unelected, but I mean, he has a voice. And I think large part of that voice is a reflection of the voice of the people. Once again, a 1,500-page bill, how does that pass the smell test? It's absolutely wrong. It's what's wrong with this place. So we have to get back to regular order. The other part of it, too, is while House Republicans were fighting over this spending bill, guess what Senate Democrats were doing? They were ensuring that President Biden got his 235th liberal judge over the finish line. That's why it's so important that House Republicans stay united, stay laser focused on delivering on a President Trump agenda next year.
But Republicans
Damn. Prime Minister Elon Musk. Banned from Truth Social after spamming AI Trump and Musk images. Can you really get banned for that? How fucking deranged is it that Elon Musk is like our prime minister instead of some sort of positive thing? Wait, hold on. I'm so sorry.
and deals.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Hold on. I'm doing messages, emails. Did I misinterpret all this? I thought this was like... I thought they were making fun of... Oh, these are conservatives. I thought they were making fun of Elon Musk for being the prime minister and congratulating Biden for getting his liberal judge pick. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me re-listen to this. Wait.
Bipartisan deals negotiated and led by the Speaker of the House. What role exactly is he playing here?
It's kind of interesting. We have a president, we have a vice president, we have a speaker. It feels like as if Elon Musk is our prime minister. And I spoke with Elon a couple of times this week. I think many of us...
Unelected.
Well, unelected, but I mean, he has a voice. And I think large part of that voice is a reflection of the voice of the people. Once again, these...
Oh, so I didn't hear this part.
A 1,500-page bill? How does that pass the smell test? It's absolutely wrong. It's what's wrong with this place. It's the smell test. Each bill to the people. That voice is a reflection of the voice of the people. Once again, a 1,500-page bill, how does that pass the smell test?
What's the appropriate length for a bill? How long should a bill be? 10 pages? 100 pages? 4 pages? Like, what does that mean?
It's absolutely wrong. It's what's wrong with this place. So we have to get back to regular order. The other part of it, too, is...
How long are bills regularly? Back to regular order. Is this an irregularly long bill?
While House Republicans were fighting over this spending bill, guess what Senate Democrats were doing? They were ensuring that President Biden got his 235th liberal judge over the finish line. That's why it's so important that House Republicans stay united, stay laser focused on...
Yeah, you know that's kind of like his role as the president, that he's like allowed to do that, right? Like that's kind of what he's elected to do, right?
Delivering on a President Trump agenda next year.
Oh, but Republicans, bipartisan deals negotiate.
Fired from my job over a white elephant gift exchange. I'm actually in shock right now. I just got fired from my job over a white elephant gift exchange.
A white elephant gift exchange. Is that an expression, or did she gift somebody a white elephant?
Actually in shock right now. We have like a $30 upper limit on white elephant gifts. Some random guy from HR of all places brings in a PS5 and then everyone votes to keep it in because obviously they want to win it. So the first person takes the PS5, the second person steals. By the way, we have like a 3 steal limit, okay? So the person after that, who would be the second steal, is my boss's boss. And he's like VP level and he's talking all about like, oh my God, my daughter's gonna love this. And I'm kind of sitting there thinking.
Just as a quick thing, okay? Because I see girls fall for this shit on Tinder, okay? I don't know how that works exactly, but I just know that companies have like 1 million VPs, okay? I don't know why or what the fuck that even stands for, It's vice. I don't know what it means, but every company has a million VPs. So whenever you're on Tinder and you see some dude or Hinge or whatever, and a guy's like, oh, VP at this company, it just means he's like a fucking manager. All right, that's all. He's a fucking manager. That's what VP means. He's a fucking manager somewhere. Okay, I don't know how. Like you hear VP and you're like vice president. Is that like the CEO's second position? No, it just means that he's a manager somewhere. Okay, he's literally he's an Outlook janitor. Okay, he doesn't do anything. Okay, and there's a million others like that.
Like, you do know you're the second steal, right? So the person after that, who would be the second steal, is my boss's boss. And he's like VP level, and he's talking all about like, oh my God, my daughter's gonna love this. And I'm kind of sitting there thinking like, you do know you're the second steal, right? And so after that, like 5 people in a row don't steal the PS5. They all go for like a $20 candle. I'm like, really? You're that desperate to please this guy? Like, it's a
Not steal. So I don't understand the rules of this game. So what, you steal the better gifts and then whoever has like the most value at the end or some bullshit? So they're not stealing the PS5?
Game. So it gets to me and I take the PS5 because guess what? I'm gonna resell this. I don't make $700K base salary. And he makes like a snide remark. He's like, wow, you're literally stealing from a child, but okay. And I'm like, wow, sore loser, but I don't say anything. And then at the end of the day, just now, I got called in and I'm being quote unquote laid off. Now, do I think it makes sense that I'm the only person
you just get the gift and there are only certain amounts of steals?
Being laid off, that I'm being laid off when my team exceeded performance metrics this quarter and when I just got a 4 out of 5 performance review last week? No, that doesn't make sense. So now I no longer have a job, but I do have a PS5.
I feel like there's no way this story is true, but there's 2 competing wolves in me. One is how much I hate employees because I know they would just make up some retarded shit. But the other is because I hate middle managers who would definitely do some petty shit like this. And I don't know who I hate more at this particular moment in time, at this precise moment right now. $50-50, who knows? The meme is someone brought their PS5 to a $20 gift. Yeah, sure. But I feel like maybe they just bought it from a scalper who overpurchased. We call that returning surplus value to the consumer. Okay. She mentioned the dude's salary who could have easily afforded a new PS5 for his daughter or whatever. Oh, sure. My guess is I'm hardcore generalizing and stereotyping here. My guess is going to be that any job where you're interfacing directly with a person who makes $700K a year, you're probably making enough to buy a PS5. That'd be my guess, but... She does skits on TikTok, I'm pretty sure. Oh, maybe.
All right, guys. So the absolute implosion of MSNBC and CNN is continuing, and the rise of Fox News is also continuing. You know, they've already been #1 for like decades now.
Wait, do you think his hair naturally grows this way? Or do you think he shaves it like this in this pattern? What? Do you ever notice we have like certain spots on our body? Like on both my knees, I have like little places where like hair just doesn't grow. And then I notice like, wait, I don't know. Is everybody's lips like this where you don't have hair like right in the middle? I worry sometimes that if I were to ever try to like join Hitler Youth or whatever, I wouldn't be able to grow the Hitler mustache because there's like a little line in the middle where the hair doesn't grow. But is that for everybody? Or wait, fuck, I'm not young anymore. I would be in the Hitler middle age. Like, I don't think I could do this. Is that normal? Very common on Latino people. Excuse me. We were the slave masters, okay, not the slaves. So fuck you. Don't you remember when Hassan talked about how we would whip people with our sickles? Oh, good meme. What a fucking idiot.
Fox News. They've been number one for a really long time. And there were periods where CNN and MSNBC were kind of hanging in there with somewhat respectable numbers. But since the re-election of Trump, it's been a total collapse. It's been a total collapse. Let me walk you through some of the specifics here. Fox News Top Show is scoring 10 times the viewers of CNN primetime since the election. That's embarrassing. Because I don't even think this show is in primetime. 10 times more. It used to be like 2 times more. Now it's 10. Jesus Christ. Cable news' long-reigning top-rated show, The Five, has surged in the ratings since Trump's victory in early November. Fox News' political panel show, which averaged 3.6 million total viewers in October, has been on an incredible 23-day run of 4 million plus viewers since November 4th, which is over 10 times CNN's primetime average viewership. On Election Day itself, The Five raked in a whopping 7.15 million total viewers and 1.16 million viewers in the key 25 to 54 age demographic. Those numbers are crushing, dog. Holy shit. Co-hosted by some of Fox News' most watched on-air talent like Jesse Waters, by the way, that's so sad, Greg Gutfeld, Dana Perino, and Janine Pirro, the drunk, The Five has been a staple at Fox News since it first debuted in 2011. It's also one of the last shows in the industry to pit its liberal co-hosts, Jessica Tarlov and Harold Ford Jr., that guy's not a liberal, against conservatives in heated debates on the issues of the day. While The Five has been soaring in the race.
It all ties back to this. And I will bring this up over. It keeps coming back to that duality of conservatives simultaneously being the victim and the strongest party, like at all times. Like imagine the United States going to war with Cuba and all of our media the entire time was talking about how much of an underdog we were. And then imagine we win the war against Cuba and it's like the biggest like victory day celebration ever because we didn't even expect we'd win the war. It's like this at all points in time. Like how?
Ratings, Fox's competition has continued to see its viewership decline, with CNN averaging only 405,000 total viewers in primetime since the election. Total viewers. That's not even the key demo. While CNN's total viewership is down 45% in primetime since the election, it has also lost over half of its demo viewers, averaging 77,000 in primetime. Oh my God.
They're getting to YouTube numbers. Holy shit.
Holy cow. MSNBC, meanwhile, fell some 61% in the key demo since the election to a primetime average of 57,000 viewers. Holy shit. To put that in perspective for you, if you take a day's worth of Secular Talk videos and get my the key demo numbers, it would probably be 4 times that. I mean, this is like catastrophic for them. In total viewers, MSNBC has averaged 620,000 primetime viewers, a 54% drop. For comparison, in October, CNN averaged 830,000 total viewers and 175,000 demo viewers, while MSNBC raked in 1.39 million total viewers and 160,000 demo viewers in primetime. CNN and MSNBC's plummeting ratings have also meant that Fox News has expanded its share of total cable news viewers. The leading network now accounts for 72% of all primetime cable news viewers and 71% of viewers in the demo, according to Nielsen Media Research. Post-election, Fox has averaged 2.7 million primetime viewers and 331,000 in the demo. Additionally, Fox News has scored the top 284 cable news telecasts since the election. Wow. While both CNN and MSNBC have yet to have 1 hour top 2 million viewers. MSNBC has still managed to post the best non-Fox News numbers. On Monday, MSNBC scored 3 shows with over 1 million. Nicole Wallace's show, Rachel Maddow's, and Lawrence O'Donnell's. The network also averaged 1.09 million primetime viewers, a boost from its October average. While MSNBC may have reason for optimism that the incoming Trump administration may yield a ratings boost, CNN's audience shows little sign of returning at the moment. Caitlin Collins, who will be the face of the network's Trump White House coverage, registered her lowest rated week since her show The Source launched in July of 2023, averaging 402,000 total viewers and 77,000 in the demo. So look, as you all know, MSNBC is already cooked. They're already, NBC.
As you mentioned, the total number of viewers. Could it mean Dems are all stopping to watch cable? I don't think in that number, no.
He is letting go of them. They were under the NBC umbrella, of course. Now they're going to have a spin-off thing where they're on their own. So they're cooked. They're cooked. And CNN, you already see the movement that they're doing. You see the movement that other so-called respectable outlets are doing. The LA Times axed an opinion piece that was critical of Trump's transition. They axed an endorsement of Kamala before the election. You see Jeff Bezos going down to Mar-a-Lago and giving Trump $1 million check for his inauguration. Jeff Bezos, of course, owns the Washington Post. You're seeing the capitulation. You saw it with Morning Joe, Mika and Joe Scarborough. They went to Mar-a-Lago and had lunch with Trump, and this is after they referred to him as Hitler. They're doing the capitulation thing. They're bending the knee. So what you're going to see is Fox News, One American News, and Newsmax are all going to hold it down hard.
One thing I've been thinking about a lot after yesterday's stream is like, I don't know who I should ever like support, or should I ever see myself being like aligned with. Like I have, there are certain opinions that I think I would never, ever, ever want to be aligned with ever, even if they share a bunch of other opinions. Like let's say you have a guy who says that like, I believe in like more fluid borders for economic reasons. I believe in a strong welfare state. I'm a big capitalist, though. I think that regulation should make sense. And I think that men should be able to rape their wives, right? Like, even if we have like a huge crossover on things that we believe, I don't know if I'm ever supporting that person. I just don't know if I can, because some of the takes are like just so outrageous where I'm like, all right, man. Jank is way too far over the line for me. There's too much where I like can't even do it. Kalinsky is so good on some things, but then there are other things, especially foreign policy, where it's just like, it's over the line. And I don't know. I don't know. I appreciate so much that I feel like Kalinsky has been the only person who has been like screaming into the abyss of the Trump shit after, like almost in an unhinged way. He tweeted something, some conservative lady, I don't know, was it a House Senate person, posted a picture of like a dinner they were eating, and Kalinsky quote tweeted it, and he was like, "That's a lot of beans, you bitch." And I cried because it was just a beautiful tweet. This is beautiful. I love you. But I know that tomorrow he might be tweeting some unhinged shit about how America needs to abandon Ukraine and blow up Israel. I'm like, no. Why? Fuck. I don't know what Crystal Ball's position was on Obama. Not Obama. I can't believe I said that. On supporting Harris. But her debate with Jank, I appreciated that a ton. She was crystal clear. There was no ambiguity right there. We watched this on stream. There was no ambiguity here in terms of who, she should support or who she finds herself more aligned with policy-wise. And she was giving credit to Biden's administration for the things they've done. Like, it was just... Even... oh, this is going to hurt. Oh, this is going to hurt to say. Even Emma Bingland, I think, however you pronounce her name, I think was like pretty unequivocating when it came to talking about Harris versus Trump, I think, on Twitter. I don't know if she was before the election. I'm not sure about it before the election. But... Nathan, don't wear that hat when you walk past me. You'll get shot.
What are you saying?
Just what I said. Do they actually believe any of their Israel-Palestine takes, or is it just a performance for thought? I mean, they probably believe them. They just haven't like dug a ton into it. Or it's like, it's all information environments. I don't know.
Constraining Donald Trump, holding him to account, he has become the central figure in the Republican Party. And, you know, however he wants to spin things, whatever case he wants to make, what I have seen is people consistently, even in this era, even with new parts of the coalition, et cetera, I have seen them fall in line. And that's where the RFK Jr. and the Tulsi example comes in.
I get it. So if I said to you, who is more likely to cut the Pentagon? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, or Donald Trump?
None.
Okay.
I mean, Donald Trump increased the defense budget every year that he was in office.
Of course.
Yes, thank you for saying that. So even though she did the none, well, no, actually, I'm so sorry. I would agree with her. No, I'm sorry. I would agree with her. She's right. I don't think Biden or anybody is talking about cutting the budget of the Pentagon as well. That is true. Okay, that's good. He's going to try to say Trump would. Trump literally ran on rebuilding the military. I can't watch this guy. Fuck, I can't watch this guy.
And he bragged about it.
Yes.
Okay, so I agree that none of them are likely to cut it. But with Trump, because of his right-wing base and his desire for popularity, I have it at possible. With Biden and Harris, it had a 0% chance because they work for the goddamn donors. They would never cut the military.
So does Trump.
Yeah.
Jen,
so look,
he went to oil executives and was like, give me $1 billion and I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Crystal, you don't have to convince me of that.
Totally flipped on crypto. You know,
crypto's going to be a disaster. You don't have to convince me of that. But here's, let me see.
You have nothing. You have nothing. You have no point. You're trying to stand on clouds. You have nothing. What do you think Trump? I can't watch him.
Break through one last time.
Okay.
So if Biden said, if Kamala Harris had won and she developed a conscience, which is nearly impossible, and said, you know what, this Pentagon is bloated. Look at all this fraud and abuse. They can't find $400 billion. That's it. I'm cutting $200 billion from the Pentagon. Even if she had done that, which had a 0% chance, the Democrats would have stopped her. Not just the Republicans, but the Democrats would have found a way to stop her and not allow her to cut the Pentagon. So there was no hope at all, a black hole of hope, okay? With Trump, if the Republicans go to stop him, if he goes to cut the Pentagon, they won't be able to. If Mitch McConnell goes and Rick Scott goes, you won't cut the Pentagon, Trump will be like, what did you say, bitch? Okay? I mean, Mitch. Okay, right? And Mitch McConnell, like, oh, I'm so sorry, we're cutting the Pentagon, everybody, we're cutting the Pentagon. Because Trump has them bullied. That is another advantage of Trump, that he could bully the establishment,
so
the grotesque establishment.
So his sort of authoritarian tendencies, jiu-jitsu move, end up being a benefit, is your position. We will see. I do want to just quickly, because we've already gone on a long time, I don't want to keep you too long.
Why is this tweet is so unhinged? Why? This isn't like a 2014, are you hungry? Like tweet. This isn't an old tweet. It was just like 2 weeks. I don't even know why. I have no idea why he tweeted. Is this like a reference to something? She killed a dog, I think. She's the bathroom one. I don't know what either of those mean. This video about PayPal scam is going viral. Worth reacting to. Let's finish with our good friend here.
MAGA coverage, Republican propaganda coverage. That's what they're going to do. They'll be even more committed to that, right? And then you have all of the networks.
Does the average person even believe that populist is a positive term, or why does Jink act like it? No, because they openly identify as populists. They do like that. It is a good term to them.
Supposed to be on the other side. They're not. They're going to split the difference. They're going to do false equivalence. They're going to do both sidesism. And so, in other words, in mainstream TV, you're not going to have an outlet that even just advocates for the Democratic Party. Right? You have the Republican propaganda networks, 3 of them. You're going to have 0 that are pro-Democrat. They're going to do above the fray, false equivalence, both sidesism. Why? Because the people that own these outlets, they are scared of Trump. And they want to stay in Trump's good graces. That's why they're axing critical things and they're sending him money for his inauguration and things of that nature, because they want to make sure, hey, I don't want my taxes raised. I don't want to lose whatever corporate welfare I get.
I know you've got a lot of heat for the firefighter thing, but does it bother you that people are adopting the same logic when it comes to Luigi, saying they don't condone the violence, but they're sympathetic for the CEO's murder? Wait, I haven't seen people say that at all. I feel like people just say straight out they do condone the violence. Wait, am I missing that, where people say they don't condone the violence?
I want to make sure that I stay in their good graces. So their way of doing that is to not be like a pro-Democrat or pro-liberal network. Their way of doing that is We're going to split the difference. We'll bring in more conservative voices to balance out the coverage. And so you are going to get a very skewed picture of what the political landscape in this country is.
Isn't that your position? You don't condone the violence, but you don't care that he died? That's my position. But their position for Luigi is not that they don't care that the CEO died. They support it. They like it. They enjoy it. There were people championing the posting of the fucking signs on, I don't even know what city it was, where they were posting signs of CEOs outside or whatever with pictures of them. Like, okay, what is this? Protesters came to the Capitol today to protest my bathroom bill. Poor things got arrested, so I have a special message for them.
All right, so some tranny protesters showed up at the Capitol today to protest my bathroom bill, but they got arrested. Poor things.
Wait, she must be, it's a House Republican, isn't it? Every crazy, I don't actually know. Sorry, hold on. Congresswoman representing South Carolina, real woman. What? Are you okay? This is some shit where if we're DM'd by a random and she's got this, I'm like, ooh, this is a hardcore trans person. But okay. No, I'm just kidding. What a weird.
So I have a message for the protesters who got arrested. You ready? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to speak to an attorney and be present during any question. If you cannot afford an attorney, I doubt many of you can, one will be provided to you at the government's expense.
Okay. This is why you have those little furry windscreens for portable mics, by the way. This is in front of the Capitol Police headquarters where the protesters are being processed after their arrest. Doesn't she mean rioters? Why would you arrest people just for protesting? Is it transphobic to accuse her of being trans? Do you think? I can't tell. No, yes, no. I feel like it kind of is. No, because I'm not accusing her of being trans. I can't quote tweet, I just realized, because I think Twitter has limited it. Like, if I wanted to quote tweet her and say, like, what's up with all the self-hating trans people? Would it be transphobic? I feel like it's transphobic if you accuse somebody of being trans because of, in like a derogatory manner. Well, self-hating is kind of derogatory. But she's not actually trans. Huh. It's a transvestigation? Well, but not really. I don't actually think she's trans. I don't know. We'll do a breakdown analysis of this later on. Okay.
It will leave the misimpression that there's nobody who's like actually against Trump, actually resisting Trump, actually finds this totally unconscionable. And they're leaving the lane wide open in mainstream media. And outlets like ours, I've said it before, but this is like, you're seeing a lot of MSNBC refugees now finally come to...
I mean, does it really matter? People are going to call you a transphobe regardless. I don't really care that much if people call me transphobic. I mean, I care in that it's like annoying, obviously. But I mean, I'm not transphobic, so I don't want to convey a feeling or a thing that I don't feel like I am. Well, I mean, I guess if you consider my trans takes transphobic, then I'm transphobic, but I wouldn't want to convey something hateful if I'm not hating, okay?
Online outlets, because they're like, shit, they're not even giving me the thing that I thought is what they stood for. And so if they think that doing the both sidesism and the false equivalence is going to get them viewers back, the opposite is true. Because your liberal base is going to abandon you because you piss them off. And all the conservatives you're trying to reach out to, they never trusted you in the past, and they're never going to trust you in the future. Because you're never going to be able to compete with the real, pom-pom using right-wing hacks like Newsmax or Fox News. And so you're bringing in zero conservatives and you're pissing away your liberal base. You're in fucking no man's land, bro. You're in no man's land. And so this does not bode well for the future. By the way, also, you have Elon Musk flirting with buying MSNBC. You know, the similar thing happened with Alex Jones. It looked like The Onion was going to buy InfoWars, but they were able to gum up the works and stop it. Now it looks like there might be some right-wing billionaire who's Alex Jones.
Destiny, I'm having an aneurysm with people claiming tariffs are paid by the manufacturer. Good one.
Jones sympathetic who might buy InfoWars. So that was looking like, hey,
wait, what? Hold on.
We're able to gum up the works and stop it. Now it looks like there might be some right-wing billionaire who's Alex Jones sympathetic who might buy InfoWars. So that was looking like, hey, at least that'll be funny to use InfoWars for comedic reasons now. You know, move it past Alex Jones. Now that looks like it's axed. And what's going to happen with the rest of the media, right? What's going to happen with the rest of the media? It looks like MSNBC might get bought by a right-wing billionaire too, and then you can have wall-to-wall regime propaganda is what we're going to be looking at. That and both sidesism, which is mealy-mouthed and useless and way too weak and nebbish for the moment that we live in. So the media landscape looks absolutely hellish. It really reminds me of the early Bush years when all the anti-Iraq war hosts were fired. And you had the right wing were the loudest voices. Fox News was the loudest voice cheerleading the wars. And MSNBC and CNN didn't utter a peep against the wars. And then eventually they moved on to both sidesism, which still wasn't even resisting the wars. It's ugly, man. Buckle up. It's going to be a long 4 years. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop.
Click the bell as well. What is this? Lawler. What a name. Every single Democrat except 2 voted to shut the government down. Oh, it's a video.
To me, the right answer here was to keep the government funded, and why I find it so jarring that every single Democrat except 2 voted to shut the government down, not because
But
they
so did
didn't
38
agree,
House
not
Republicans,
because they didn't. Yeah,
including
Caitlin.
one sitting right here.
Caitlin,
Totally
different reasons. Totally different reasons.
But you still voted the
Yeah,
same
but Caitlin,
way.
here's
There's
what I
38
think
House
you're
Rep-
missing.
And with
There's voted to shut the government down, not because
But
they
so did
didn't
38
agree,
House
not
Republicans,
because they didn't. Yeah,
including
Caitlin.
one sitting right here.
Caitlin, totally different reasons. Totally
But-
different reasons.
But you still voted the
Yeah,
same
but Caitlin,
way.
here's
There's
what I
38
think
House
you're
Rep-
missing.
And with 38 House
Yeah, but
Republicans
Caitlin,
voted
here's
against
what you're
this.
missing.
You're counting on
Right, and
Democrats.
197 Democrats voted against
But the
it.
deal that they had
And the reality
negotiated
is,
was blown
well,
up yesterday.
they negotiated a deal that included a lot of pet projects that they wanted.
But isn't that your
The
problem with
fact
Speaker
is-
Mike Johnson, who negotiated
the
that
fact
deal
is-
with them?
No, look, when
Yes,
you
though?
have a
But a
House
Republican House
majority,
Speaker
let me answer,
negotiated
please.
that deal,
When
right?
Would you like me to answer, or you want to debate it? House.
Who? I don't know. Who is she? Can you fucking lock her in a lab, clone her 50 times, and just replace every single fucking interviewer on every single liberal media outlet with her? Whoever this is, just replace all of them with this person, okay? Where somebody can't just say, how many people were at the party yesterday? Oh, we had 4 people at the party yesterday. Really? But I thought you only had 2 people at the party. Oh, yeah, but 1 + 1 = 4. And anyway, wait, doesn't 1 + 1 = 2? No, you're wrong. But wait, doesn't 1 + 1 = 2 though? Yeah, but you're wrong. But like, yeah, just like keep stopping them over and 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 over again. Literally, just do it. And you know what? I said this as like a debate strat like 3 years ago or whatever, 2 years ago, right? If they don't acknowledge reality, then you just loop on this for the rest of the 2 minutes. Just don't let them go anywhere. Just stay here. Okay. Well, we're not going to agree on this like little reality factual point. Then sure. Then let's just keep repeating it over and over again, right?
The House Speaker negotiated that deal, right?
Would you like me to answer, or you want to
stop lying?
Debate it. House Republican majority, Senate Democrat majority, Democrat in the White House. Where has Joe Biden been in any of these discussions? What did Chuck Schumer do in any of these discussions? Nothing. So you want to just focus on House Republicans. We put a bill on the floor today to keep the government funded. Yes, some of my colleagues voted no. Some of my colleagues have never voted for a CR and never voted to increase the debt ceiling. That's their right.
Then don't cry. It's your party. It's your party. Whip the votes, loser. I don't know who their whip is or who their House. Hold on. I don't fucking follow after all the fucking bullshit. I was fucking Okay. Go get the votes.
But the fact is, many Democrats have always voted to pass a CR and increase the debt.
What does that have to do with anything? Many Democrats have always voted. What? Okay. What's like? Are we just like doing like random facts now? Like the Declaration of Independence was in 1776. Like, okay. Hydrogen is the first element on the periodic table of elements. Like, okay. Well, are we just like naming random things? What does that have to do with anything?
Have always voted to pass a CR and increase the debt ceiling. And the reason they didn't do that today is because they don't want to lose leverage in the new Congress.
Can I ask you, though?
That, to me, is absolutely pathetic.
But also,
Oh my God. Absolutely pathetic. Didn't you have the same problem where if you push too much, then no one would ever want to talk to you? Yeah, but like, fuck it. I don't care, bro. I wonder, one of the things that I wonder, I was going to say this earlier when Kulinski was talking about the huge media drop-off. I can't know this. I don't know this. I don't even know if like the polling data would exist on this. It feels like, I wonder if one of the reasons why post-election, maybe like a lot of liberals are like, okay, let's just take a break for a second from the media, is because in order to even engage in the media, you have to buy into all of these frameworks that are just like so not even close to anything that you believe to be true, right? Okay, well, if I'm going to have a conversation with a Republican, I automatically have to buy into 50 different things in order to even have the conversation. We can't talk about 2020. We can't talk like the election. We can't talk about COVID. We can't talk about vaccines. We can't talk about January 6th. We can't talk about foreign policy. We can't talk about we can't talk about Trump's federal cases. We can't talk about the crazy Supreme Court. Like, we have to already seed all this ground. And then having seeded all of that ground, now we have to pretend like we're coming to the table. Like, it's like, why the fuck would I even watch this shit? I think I would have, like... Like, imagine, I don't know, like if you're if you're a liberal watching this interview, man, how do you feel? You must feel like shit. Like, they won the propaganda war and like we weren't even competing. What the fuck? Where's George Soros? George! Where are you? It's just like crazy. This is like everybody listening to this interview the whole time is like, wait, what? Oh. Even on liberal media, the conservatives can just lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. What the fuck is even the point of watching? You have no media to watch. If you're like an establishment Dem, which feels like a fucking slur to say nowadays even. Like even Cenk was making fun of me for it. Nobody would defend the establishment Dems. Destiny's complete. Like, that's most Democrats, bro. You understand that, right? That most Democrats are establishment Dems, right? And that the Trumples are becoming the new conservative establishment as well. Although, ironically enough, in some ways, they're more establishment than any prior Republican has ever been because of the incestual relationship with capital and the new Trump cabinet. But
one for first of all, I've won almost all of the cases.
What if President?
That was a lot. Okay, I can't watch this. But
absolutely pathetic.
But also part of that was this deal that was negotiated today was only negotiated among Republicans and not even among all Republicans, as you noted there, which has raised the question tonight about Mike Johnson's future as the House Speaker. I mean, if the vote...
You understand that this is the border bill that Republicans tanked themselves and now they blame the Dems. Oh yeah, somebody reminded me that I got like gaslit on the border bill because Republicans will say, if they felt so strongly about Ukraine, why did they try to tie it to the border bill? And somebody emailed me and they had reminded me the only reason why the border bill was tied to Ukraine is because Republicans wouldn't pass Ukraine aid without also including something about immigration. And I was like, oh yeah. Oh, it's just like they can create their own problems, lie about their positions, solve problems that weren't even problems, and then take credit for the victory over nothing. Like, how much you want to bet, like, in a year, Trump is going to talk about how he solved the trans issues in the United States or something? And it's like, what?
And this committeeman believes that she was already in...
U.S. Congresswoman Kay Granger found living in memory care facility. This can't be real, right? Oh, no.
some sort of decline when she ran for re-election. None of these committeemen, none of these people are in touch with the representatives of the state who sit in the halls of Congress in Washington. None of them have a connection to the people that represent them, because I would think if they did, that they would have long ago been like, where the hell is Kay? We need to find Kay. We need to call the police. Kay is missing. She is a sitting U.S. congressman. Y'all forgive me. This story is bonkers to me.
Like, could you kidnap a congressman and nobody would notice for 6 months? Is that a thing?
A sad and humiliating.
And it also, this actually, and just reading this doesn't make sense. So memory care facility means a place where somebody who has an advanced, I don't know if it's only Alzheimer's disease or all dementia, like it's an advanced, your dementia is advanced to the point where you can no longer live without assistance, like daily assistance to survive. So it must have been progressing up to this point. Somebody must have taken her there. So what?
Way to end her political career. Sad that nobody cared enough to take away the keys before she reached this moment, and a sad commentary on the congressional gerontocracy. I guess that's a word for geriatric. What? And the fact that we have so many representing the people in the halls of Congress. It is I think it is sad that nobody had their finger on the pulse of not only this woman. It tells me that they don't know what's going on with their other representatives that are in the district or in the state of Texas. She ain't the only one. They don't know. The Congresswoman and her staff presumably continue to take in their taxpayer-funded salaries. How else is she paying for this $4,000 a month care facility?
That's based. Okay.
She has staff? That last sentence says she has staff. The Congresswoman and her staff presumably continue to take in their taxpayer-funded salaries because she has staff up in Washington. So the staff up in Washington, she has an office. They typically have an office in the halls of Congress, and they have an office in the district. So we already know, because the reporter has been investigating, we already know no one is staffing the offices that she has local in Texas. But she has to have a staff.
X, after reinstating the terrorist profile, has deleted all posts from before November 2024. They also deactivated search function on his profile, so you can only see his last 2 months. Why? Probably because it helps the far-right/pro-Israel narrative that he is not an ex-Muslim atheist, nor is he a fan of the AfD or Elon Musk. Okay. I don't know enough about this stuff. They deleted all of his posts or whatever? Was this response uncalled for? Hey there, I'm Mark, retired veteran on Social Security. I will be servicing your order today. Please feel free to reach out with any questions or directions. See you ASAP. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are ya? I'm a young black descendant of slaves that were stolen and brought here on boats, trying to make an honest living and eat healthy. Thank you for your service. Based? Victimhood Olympics? No, fuck this guy. Fuck the Instacarter. Don't try to fucking guilt me into some bigger tip. I don't give a fuck if you're a retired Oh, you're a retired veteran? What, 20 years? And on Social Security? You must not have any of my money then. Okay, you must be financially, you're doing good. Huh? Yeah, you got your Social Security, you got your retirement from the military, you probably got TRICARE, you're good. You got VA benefit, this guy's got everything. Oh, you don't need my fucking money then. Fuck that shit. Try to milk tips from me, motherfucker.
Over 2,000 units, it's a lot. And they flooded it with Starlink, and it was so good. It saved a lot of lives, so we want to thank him. But no, he's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe. You know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country. And he got over...
First of all, the 14th Amendment, Section 3 says, anybody who takes an oath of allegiance to the Constitution.
You're watching The Legal Breakdown. Glenn, this is a question I've gotten more than any other question as of late, so I wanted to discuss it with you. As we head toward Trump's second swearing in, the question I'm getting is, could whoever swears in Trump be in violation of their oath of office by violating the Constitution, in that they will be swearing in somebody who is an avowed insurrectionist, somebody who is an adjudicated insurrectionist? And the Constitution clearly states that nobody who has engaged in insurrection or given aid or comfort to those who've engaged in insurrection can take the oath of office. And so, again, none of this is to say here that Trump won't be sworn in. So I want to caveat that, because he will be. But just engaging in this thought experiment here, because this is a question I'm getting more than any other, could somebody who does swear him in be in violation of their oath of office by virtue of doing this?
You know, Brian, it's a great question, even if it's only a thought experiment or an academic exercise, because it's an academic exercise that is based in the plain language of the Constitution, the text of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. So let's walk through it and then answer your question. First of all, the 14th Amendment, Section 3 says, anybody who takes an oath of allegiance to the Constitution, support and defend the Constitution of the United States, Donald Trump did as president, who thereafter engages in insurrection or gives aid and comfort to an insurrection or insurrectionists, is disqualified, may not hold office, federal, state, or local, period, unless Congress votes. And the House would have to vote to remove the disability, to restore someone's eligibility to hold office by a two-thirds vote, and the Senate would have to vote to remove the disability by a two-thirds vote. So,
just to be clear, that's never ever happening. The Supreme Court has decided that this part of the Constitution doesn't apply because it would hurt Daddy Trump. So this is all not relevant law anymore, or relevant parts of our Constitution. Thank you, Supreme Court.
Oh, this thought experiment leads to the logical conclusion, Brian, and I'm basing it on the express language of the 14th Amendment, that if somebody engaged in insurrection, and after taking an oath to support and defend the Constitution, and Congress has not voted to remove that disqualification, that person cannot be sworn in. The Constitution says that. That's not me saying it. So it would naturally flow from that the person swearing in the insurrectionist is engaged in at least an act contrary to...
Oh, Jesus. Few of these hate posts come from people that follow me. The algorithms are night and day versus 2018. I didn't see them in my feed or replies because I didn't show up in their feeds. They were here, but in their own dark corner, showing up every now and then in my replies. When someone talks shit about me, no big deal. Now it's nonstop, and I have no doubt others get it far worse than I do. Mark Cuban. I'm guessing, apparently he started... Sorry, what? Okay. Shut up, Jew. It's cute. A Jew coordinating with a Jew to screw us over. Jew Chabaninsky? Nothing to see here. Just a Jew with another Jew. Fuck you, Jew. Cry harder, Jew. You got trolled by AI. Jew boy. Jew, Jew. Typical Jew promoting pushing lies to the public. Another Jew lying about politics. It stands for young N-words. Oh, gotcha. I wonder if there's going to be a big fight in the Conservative Party over all the, like, because all the younger, like, they talk about how younger people broke for Trump more than in the past, but a higher percentage of them are probably neo-Nazis. So I wonder if this is ever going to come to a head.
To the Constitution. I would say it would also be...
Especially when you have people like Tucker Carlson that are now kind of like promoting neo-Nazism. Jesus.
An act contrary to the Constitution. I would say it would also be unethical. It would also be immoral. It would be undemocratic because you would be violating the Constitution and installing somebody into a federal office, indeed the highest office in the land, somebody who's not eligible under the very language of the Constitution that governs who is and is not eligible. I would say, Brian, it's not...
What just happened, Destiny? Why is Mark retweeting people saying anti-Semitic stuff? I think he's just trying to show like how prevalent it is on the platform. And it is. It's insane. I probably block like 10 people a day. I don't even think I'm exaggerating. Only 5 to 10 people a day on my, did I say Instagram? I was reading Instagram. I don't know if I said Instagram, but on Twitter. It's like that platform is insane. Like I would say it's like unusable. Unless you're like ready to go in knowing that if you have any level of popularity, you're just going to see an ungodly amount of like bigoted, racist, anti-Semitic, hateful like threats. Like it's just an insanely horrible platform.
Unlike if somebody was 34 years old, the Constitution says in order to hold the office of the presidency, you have to be 35. Right. So a 34-year-old can't be sworn in. Somebody who's not a natural-born citizen can't be sworn in. Why? Because the Constitution says so.
Oh, can I just say we have one savior. Europe, please. The European Council needs to fucking ban X. Just fucking do it. Make the world a better place. My God.
But, you know, to play out this academic exercise, this thought experiment, it would seem that...
Do you really feel like the neo-Nazi shit will become mainstream? I still feel like it's largely online, like progressives. Do you really think it'll take off? I think that there are a lot of conditions right now in the world that can very easily facilitate a rapid expansion of like anti-Semitism. Minority communities in the United States, especially African Americans, are already like fairly anti-Semitic. There's a lot of like popular media figures that are like full on reporting repeating neo-Nazi talking points, including in minority communities, people like Kanye West or Candace Owens, and then including in mainstream media communities like Tucker Carlson. You've got like Israel-Palestine, and you've got the 2 billion Muslims on the planet that are like primed to repeat and amplify anti-Semitic talking points. It's just like, it's a good, and you've got like the whole conservative movement is like very primed and ready for any sort of conspiracy that would like block any of their shit. The only blocker you have, I guess, to this anti-Semitism is that old people in the U.S. just tend to support Israel because of, it's just how it has been for a long time. So yeah, I don't know. It's pretty spooky.
Play out this academic exercise, this thought experiment, it would seem that nobody should be constitutionally permitted to swear in an insurrectionist.
Well, then that obviously raises the question that, yes, Trump is an adjudicated insurrectionist. We heard so from a judge in California. We heard so from a trial judge in Colorado, from the Colorado Supreme Court. So that was all undermined by what the U.S. Supreme Court says. So is he still an adjudicated insurrectionist if the Supreme Court had the final say? And from a judge in California, we heard so from a trial judge in Colorado.
Nobody should be constitutionally permitted to swear in an insurrectionist.
Well, then that obviously raises the question that, yes, Trump is an adjudicated insurrectionist. We heard so.
Just to be super clear on this, crystal clear, Nothing about the 14th Amendment even required adjudication for this. The process wasn't spelled out in the 14th Amendment, but whatever.
So from a judge in California, we heard so from a trial judge in Colorado, from the Colorado Supreme Court. So that was all undermined by what the U.S. Supreme Court says. So is he still an adjudicated insurrectionist if the Supreme Court had the final say and theirs is the decision that actually establishes precedent, that actually holds weight?
Yes, he is still an adjudicated insurrectionist, but that doesn't fully answer the question because we have to sort of tease out exactly what the Supreme Court said when they shot down the state of Colorado's attempt to keep Donald Trump off of a presidential primary ballot in Colorado. The reason I say he remains an adjudicated insurrectionist is because there was a trial in Colorado at which Donald Trump was represented, and the trial court judge, after hearing from the witnesses, hearing the evidence, taking into account the arguments of both parties, Trump and the petitioner in the case, the trial court judge ruled Donald Trump engaged in insurrection. That was appealed all the way up to the Colorado Supreme Court, and the Colorado Supreme Court affirmed that ruling. Donald Trump is an insurrectionist. Then Donald Trump ran to the United States Supreme Court, where he had at least, 6 receptive radical right-wing justices. And here's what they ultimately ruled, Brian. Remember, the question that they had to resolve, they had to decide was, can the state of Colorado keep Donald Trump's name off a presidential primary ballot in their state? And they ruled no. Colorado can't keep his name off the ballot. Brian, believe it or not, I agree with the Supreme Court. Why?
No. Why?
Why? Because that question is governed by the text of the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment doesn't say if you take an oath to support and defend the Constitution and you thereafter engage in insurrection, you can't have your name on a primary ballot in a state contest. It doesn't say that. What it says is that you're disqualified from holding office unless Congress removes the disability.
While that's true, it also doesn't say that you can't have people under the age of 35 on a primary ballot either, but states choose not to because they don't want to waste their votes, right? It's the state's prerogative to do this, right?
That, to me, is still an open question because that issue, precise issue, has not presented itself to any court, but it may present itself to a court when, come January 6th, they are certifying the election in Congress. It may come to a court's attention come January 19th or 20th when Donald Trump is on the verge of taking the oath of office, holding an office from which he's disqualified according to an application of the 14th Amendment. Now, Brian, let me tell our viewers, I'm not saying any of this is going to play out and actually stop Donald Trump.
Can Congress vote to waive the age requirement? No, they would need a constitutional amendment to change that.
From being certified as the election's winner or sworn in on January 20th. But anybody who cares about the plain text of the Constitution should have serious reservations about an adjudicated insurrectionist serving as president of the United States. And let me just finish the thought by saying, you asked the question, is he still an adjudicated insurrectionist? And I said, yes, he is, because a court adjudicated him an insurrectionist. A state Supreme Court affirmed that ruling. And in the U.S. Supreme Court case, Brian, they never undercut or negated or even quibbled with the fact that Donald Trump engaged in insurrection. They sidestepped the issue entirely by simply saying, doesn't mean Colorado can keep him off the primary ballot.
And so let's finish off with this. There is obviously a difference, and we've spoken about this a lot, a difference between what is right and what is practical. And I think in this instance, can you parse out the two? Because clearly, after the last few minutes of you making this discussion, there is...
Is there even a way to change the Constitution in the U.S.? Yeah, we do it with constitutional amendments, but it's very, very, very hard to do.
Is a case to prevent Trump's ascent into the presidency. And I know a lot of people out there who are watching are thinking the same thing, that there's no way he should be able to take the oath of office. But now can you explain the.
This is why I brought up the video, Destiny. I want to know, what do you think will happen? Will we try to take this to the Supreme Court, prevent him from taking office? No. I doubt the Democrats would even challenge on it. And if they did, the Supreme Court would probably just shoot it down. The Supreme Court has already made it clear that they don't like the 14th Amendment. The Republican justices are very much like breathing, living Constitution people, where they think that the Constitution and all the amendments are constantly up for reinterpretation based upon the particular whims or feelings of the justices at the time, which historically they claimed were liberal positions, but they have decided to skip a clear and unambiguous text in favor of their own contextual readings based on who they would like to hold office. So.
The other side of the coin, which is, the practical matter of all this and what we're able to do with what limited political capital we have and with what limited appetite to push back that so many in the legal system, in the political system have.
Yeah, I generally like to stop my analysis with what's right, not what's practical, because what's practical is in the eye of the beholder, right? Some people say, well, practically speaking, because Donald Trump was voted in by a very slim majority of the American voters, nothing you could do to stop him. Well, there's nothing you can do to stop him if we decide to completely throw out the Constitution's disqualification.
And what can anyone do about that? Just wait 30 years for a liberal court. Or amend the Constitution or whatever, but yeah.
You could do to stop him. Well, there's nothing you can do to stop him if we decide to completely throw out the Constitution's disqualification of an insurrectionist. So if I had to predict the practicalities of this, let's assume that there was an objection raised either on January 6th or January 20th to Donald Trump being an adjudicated insurrectionist, Congress not having taken the requisite vote to try to remove the disqualification by a 2/3 vote in both houses, and Donald Trump filed suit and ran right up to the Supreme Court. Practically speaking, I'll bet the Supreme Court would say, yeah, but he was only adjudicated an insurrectionist by one state, and we just like we couldn't let one state perhaps be outcome determinative in the election by keeping his name off the primary ballot in that state, we're not going to let that one state's adjudication of Donald Trump as an insurrectionist win the day for the other 49 states. So practically speaking, we're going to go ahead and let an adjudicated insurrectionist serve in office again, contrary to Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, because, it's only the practical thing to do.
Right. Well, this clearly makes for a really interesting thought experiment. I think you and I can both agree that if this was a country that was more focused on protecting, upholding, and defending the Constitution, this wouldn't be the situation that we're in right now. But unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the country that we're living in. And there doesn't seem to be the political capital and political courage to do what's right here. But that doesn't mean that you and I and the folks watching right now don't still fight for justice in the best way that we can on a daily basis. So with that said, for everybody who's watching, if you want to follow along with analysis like this and for up.
After the UHC CEO incident, I listened to your thoughts on healthcare and felt it contradicted your desire for universal healthcare. Do you still support it? Yeah, I do. You thought it contradicted it because I don't know.
Updates on the latest legal news, please make sure to subscribe. The links to both of our channels are right here on this screen. I'm Brian Taylor Cohen.
And I'm Glenn Kirshner.
You're watching The Legal Breakdown.
Thank you.